Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Live at the 7:30 a.m. hour, Morningwood Radio with the European Championship breakdown. Tom and Dina. How we doing today, folks?
Dina, can I say something to you real quick, Dina? You're the first girl we've ever had on the show. This is pretty big.
I feel privileged.
It's like a boys' club, and you've kind of broken in. So I'm just letting you know you're representing a lot of women right now. If you fuck this up, it's basically we're
all on me.
for good. Yeah, I'm like, if Dina can't hang right now, I'm not letting anybody else into this party.
I think you're just trying to get into the boss's good books.
Yeah. Did you see that? Homeboy, she's got an article about her. She's got an article about her as the CEO of Builder.
It's now my wallpaper on my phone.
Son of a bitch. Dude, this guy wrote, I was like, who is this person? She's like, he wrote an article about you too. In the article, no mention of the fact that I have any affiliation with this company. Dina Hogan, CEO, a mother and a multinational corporation CEO. She is a legend. I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, Hunter does push-ups. Like, this is bullcrap. So Tom, what does that make you? You the paper boy?
I don't know what I am. Ever.
Yeah.
He's PA.
Personal assistant?
Yeah,
I'm allowed to hang around.
That is great. What's Tawanda's biggest fan?
So somebody had
that
in our group chat, and instead of calling him Tom, called him Tawanda.
Oh, this guy, Tom?
Yeah, our Tom right here.
Okay.
She meant to write Tom and Becky, and it was just a typo, but I thought it was a pet name she had made for him. I wanted in on it, so I think we'll just make it stick.
Yeah. Dina's like, I didn't call him Tom. I didn't know he had a nickname from you.
You guys have a heart of gold. I go into the group chat to see what's going on in the group, and I read like 2 or 3 messages, and then my ADD just blows out the back of my head, and I can't read. I can't keep track of anything you guys have in that little group chat. I don't even know, like, Ryan's a part of it too, and I'm like, you guys are saints. You guys are saints.
I jump in and out. I don't look at it.
Again, the work all falls on me.
Okay. I would like to roll out the red carpet for you guys a little bit for anybody who doesn't really know how our company works or who you guys are. So I try to do a little bit of research, but I'll at least brag on the fact of my relationship with you guys. I'm going to release, because Dina's the CEO. I'm going to say Dina and Tom. Tom, you're at the back of the bus now. Dina and Tom are basically, they developed and run the entire UK and European chapter of Builder. And to be honest, oh my gosh, is that Finn?
Fitzy. He's an animal.
He's going, my gosh.
Side.
5 kilo.
Axe murderer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that dog a lot. I slept on the couch with him one night. He was really good to me. Yeah. So these guys, they both developed the entire brand over there in the UK, and they've actually often will beat our numbers here in the United States. They're incredibly successful, and I'm proud to say that they're my partners. And as you understand, without even me knowing, Dina's taken over the company and now we're the CEO, and I feel quite powerless up here in the mountains.
I've got him where I want him, folks.
Tom did the tour with me in the beginning. I think that was just all a razz. He's like, get Hunter drunk and drive him around Europe, and then we'll get all the paperwork when he's not paying attention. We'll get him to sign it off. He'll think that he's paying for a beer tab, but it's really just all the documents to his intellectual property.
All those autographs he signed on the tour.
Fudge, man. What a tragedy. And, I mean, you guys are the battled for fittest couple in Ireland. Dina, you've got like a really good career in triathlon and Ironman distance. Yeah. You guys used to travel around in a van, living the high life, back when you both used to be much skinnier. I found a picture of Tom. This I had to bring to the surface. This changed my life.
If you email it to me, I can bring it up as a third window for us.
Dude.
Okay.
68 kilos there.
And the fudge is that?
Yeah,
could you just Google Tom Hogan so people can see this a little bit better?
I mean, 68 kilos. So in pounds, what is that in pounds?
It looks like one of those alien movies where you get shot with a laser gun and it melts all the muscle off your body, and you somehow survived.
I was under 150 pounds.
Dude, look, Austin Alexander came on. He says, "How are my Irish comrades?"
Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, Austin.
We take
you
over Battle Bunker next.
Watch
Yep.
out, Austin. We're coming for you.
Dude, they're crafty. They're crafty. They've got me convinced. I was like, these guys are just a bunch of basic Irish people. They're good at drinking and they're a lot of fun to hang out with. They're different than that. But so you guys have been constantly getting in and out of all different sports. I mean, Dina, could you just give us a quick description of did it start in Ironman? Or what was the
no, it
inspiration for
started
you two?
in kind of road running, and then I get pretty bored pretty quick. I couldn't just imagine doing the same distances over and over again, the same. So then I moved to triathlon, and bigger is always better, right? So then I moved to Ironman, ultra marathons, ran for Ireland, and it kind of just went from there, really. And it was only as our family changed, our family dynamic, and the children got older, and something had to give. The volume of training, I just couldn't get it in anymore. So a new.
That's what I wanted to see.
Oh my God, that picture gives me the ick.
I know. What is it like? Tom's like a big, beefy, sexy man now. Tom sent me one of these kind of like OnlyFans pictures the other day because I had him testing out one of our products, and he had these big, muscular boobs. What is it like to have a real man in the house now?
Tom, that was the wrong group you sent that to.
Dude, he sent it to me, and I was like, Tom, it's 5 a.m. here. You can't do that to me.
Yeah,
Unsolicited.
things have changed. But then that's a winner right there in what he was doing. So, it kind of cancels it out a tiny bit.
Dude, I've always said this. There's nothing sexier than being a champion. Like, I bet you sumo wrestlers get tons of ass. They're just like big tubs of lard, and they're kings. They're kings. And look at that,
So
Tom. Tom scored you. I mean, look at this. Skinniest dude I've ever seen in a picture.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what was the dynamic?
It looks way too big for my body there.
Yeah. Basically, I think this would be an interesting thing to kind of get some data on here. I have so many people, and you guys are coaches too, so you could probably speak really well to this. I have so many people give me these radical excuses of how hard it is to have kids and how they can't get any exercise in, and their lives are just in shambles. And you guys, I mean, Tom, you've competed at the European Championship. So have you, Dina. You guys have competed at the World Championship level. You've done Ironmans. You've traveled around the world. What do you have to say to these people? Because you have an opportunity, you have a platform right now to really let them have it.
They're lazy.
That's it. That's a book in itself. One page. I want the outside to be really thick and leather bound. You open up to one page.
Yeah.
How to make it work. Don't
How to
be
train
late.
with children. Yeah.
People love excuses in all walks of life. Everyone loves an excuse, and the reason that what they're doing is harder than what the next person is doing. Everybody loves to beat that drum that my life is harder and blah blah blah. Everyone has their own kind of things they have to go through. But if you want to do something, you just do it, don't you? Like, you make time. You get up early, you stay up late, you just make it work, and that's exactly what we did. We used to get up at 3:30 a.m. to get on a bike, turbo train on a bike till 8 a.m., bring the kids to soccer or wherever they were going, come back in the afternoon, train again. We just made it work.
And it's not like your kids became a hot mess because of this. I mean, you got your son who's becoming a soccer champion. You guys raised your kids well, and you set a good, you set the tone in the household for them. And now you're about to have a soccer champion. Had a lot of fun hanging out with your daughter. You guys got a really, really good household. So it's not like this was like a home of neglect. You're like, you boys go out in the field and fend for yourselves.
Mom and dad are going to go lift.
That's what my dad did to me. It is totally random to this point that I've gotten as far as I have, because my family didn't raise me at all. It was like you literally woke up in the morning and did whatever you wanted until dinner table was set.
We probably see the kids as a big advantage, which a lot of people probably don't see them as. Like, we see them as real inspiration for
Keep you
us,
young.
and keeping us accountable. Like everyone talks about accountability, but who are you more accountable than the people that from say they're 1 year old and you're telling them when they're starting to walk, don't give up. You spend your whole life telling the kids don't give up. So now when we compete, we can't really just stop and give up, can we? We've spent our whole lives telling these people that no matter what, you got to keep going. So it
Would you
works. Like
mind?
we use it to work for us rather than against us.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about that BS drawing that your daughter put together?
Yeah, when it was
Oh,
on
and you didn't even hear the
podium,
half of
didn't
it.
hit.
That girl is so quick, honestly. I said to her, "Oh, Hunter seen your picture, and he said lies." And she said, "Oh, why? Did he think the prediction he should be third?"
That girl is the devil. She
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
drawing of us on the podium, and
I'll get
Tom
it up
is
here.
well above me. He is well above me. She put a couple extra inches on that platform, and I was pretty sensitively hurt by that thing.
I got
You
a
look
couple of
pretty skinny in
messages
it.
saying that your drawing was uncanny.
Yeah. Well, listen, I can draw too. Don't make me whip out my box of crayons, and I'll start throwing some hate mail at you guys too. This is how we're gonna do this.
Tess, you're going down.
You know, one thing that I really liked, Tom told me about, that you guys had this incredible thing where 1 year Tom would go and do the challenge Roth, and then the next year you would go do the challenge Roth. I thought that was a really cool way to handle being like a very fit couple. I think, like, because I'll admit, like, I've been in relationships where you're dating athletes, and it's hard to really decide who's going to take priority at the moment, because if you're going to be a high level athlete, you really have to prioritize yourself. I mean, you're in a position where it's like, hey, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm going to eat what I need to eat, I'm going to do what I need to do so I can cross the finish line in the best shape possible. But then one of you guys would take the back seat and be a support team. I think that's really, really rad. Any notes on
Yeah.
that, or is it as simple as that?
Well,
I
it was the
suppose.
age of that.
What's that?
Go on, Dina.
No, go ahead there. Go on. What were you saying?
I was going to say that was the ages that they were at. That was, like I
Yeah.
said, we made it work. So it was necessary at that time that's the only way we could do it. That was our workaround. I did a lot
Yeah.
of shorter races, and Dina focused on more so training and doing that one big race.
Mm-hmm.
This is that propaganda picture that I was talking about. This is absolute bullcrap.
Yeah, but look how wide you are. You've got some good shoulders on you there.
That's right. That's right. That's real.
I
Tom,
love it.
you got these messed up little arms. Yeah.
He's tiny.
In the zone attractor for him. Always got his mind.
I like how Seamus made it in there too.
James,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They tried to make him almost seem as tall as me, and I've met Seamus. That's a lie. That is a lie. I feel like there's a lot of mixed messaging going on here, and she's really trying to test my ego.
Yeah. Play mind games with you.
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting. How do you guys? I think this is fascinating because you guys have been together how long now?
Oh.
Well, I say the obvious and say too long.
That's a measurement. Let's talk years, just so people can get understanding.
Well, over 2
1999.
decades.
1999.
24 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
What age
And
were
the
you in
fact-
1999?
Yeah. I mean, so you guys have been together since 1999, and you guys have gone. How many kids you guys got? 4? 3?
Yeah.
4. You're so dramatic, Hunter.
They're
They
doing
said
the-
it as if like you can't keep count of them. There's only 4 of them.
4 kids.
Listen, I just want to get it right here, okay? you Irish people, you guys produce faster than almost anybody in the world. You guys could have had 3 kids on this conversation. I wouldn't know. Crafty, as I said. Yeah. And you guys have stayed together throughout this entire thing. What were some of the pillar moments that you guys would say of like holding together a relationship throughout those 24 years? Because being not only in a relationship, also having kids, and also being really dedicated athletes, I think there's a lot of opportunities where people would just be like, I'm out. But you guys seem to be like a happy couple. When I go, like, I've gone to dinners with a lot of couples, and I sit down next to them, and I'm like, I'm waiting for the boxing gloves to come on. Like, these people hate each other. And you guys are a lot of fun. I sit down and I genuinely have a good time whenever I'm hanging out with you guys. So
I think a lot of it comes from having the sport in common. It is definitely something we can do together, and it's not just he's going one way and I'm going the other. It's about, I suppose, at this stage still that we really enjoy each other's company, and I think that's very important. So that has done something. And the other thing of it is, we both just want to see the other person even more so than ourselves do better. I If we do fight about training, it's usually no, you go get yours done. No, you go get yours done.
I like this.
So I think that's a big thing. Try not to be selfish, I suppose.
And you'd say there's also a good dash of Irish charm in there. That's how you guys stay so happy.
Yeah, we don't take things too serious, I suppose. Anything really in life.
Well, you guys are both smiling right now, which is good.
Yeah, we usually just take the piss out of each other with everything.
Yeah,
that's helpful, I think.
it's interesting.
That way you can get a little dig in, but you can kind of say, I was only messing. But really,
Oh, it was a joke. It was a joke. I hate you. It was a joke. Yeah. It's often though, like I've noticed, and I'm not trying to sound like cynical or sad in this situation, but I've spent so many years training, and predominantly with men. You'll just notice that a lot of guys will like use these training hours to get out of the household, and you guys use these training hours to get into spending more time with each other in an awesome way. So we'll go on these long ass bike rides, and these guys are like, "Hey, do you want to tack on some more miles? I don't need to be home anytime soon." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I don't have anything to do." Or they'll go out.
You got to
play
keep
golf.
fun at home.
Yeah.
You got to keep at home fun as well.
Yeah, you guys got a good thing going on. So let's go into more of a, recent history, aka like 2 days ago, the European Championships.
Bum bum bum.
I'm actually like I intentionally didn't try to get too much information about the European Championships because I wanted to go into this conversation a little bit blind, and I really wanted to get as much of a story from you guys as possible. And I guess let's start with Dina. We are
I'm not
now.
ready to talk about my race yet.
Well, no, just talk. You could just talk about anything. I mean, in reality, you don't have to break down exactly your race, but let's just talk about the sport. Let's talk about some of the athletes that
Okay.
the progress that we're at. So we are now, I guess, what, the 5th or 6th season of Hyrox? Started in 2018.
2018, yeah.
Yeah,
And
okay, so 2018, 2019,
It'll be season
2020,
5.
2021, 2022. We're on the 6th season.
Wow.
Yeah. And how many European Championships and have you qualified for now? This will be the second one?
yeah, this was the second Europeans.
Second Europeans and second. I'm already qualified for this year's Worlds, which will be my 3rd World Championships.
You already qualified for Worlds?
Yeah, I qualified for Worlds in Frankfurt, just gone before Christmas.
How? Because your time?
Not elite now, age group.
Okay. But you raced
Yeah.
it. Didn't you race?
Yeah.
Did you race in the late 15 this year?
No, not this year. Vegas was my last in top elite 15.
Dang. So tell me about the women's side of sport right now. You guys, I mean, it's pretty crazy what's going on in the women's side of sport, especially over there in your guys' area. Like there's just a bunch of lightning bolts with with running shoes on nowadays.
Yeah.
There's that.
To be fair, the women have just bought it to Hyrox. If you compare how much the times have changed from, say, the top 10, 15 women to the top 10, 15 men, like the women's time has just, I think it's been cut by well, let's have a look. I went into Vegas in
Dina, you're
50.
109 in Maastricht over the weekend.
Yeah, but you see, it was very different. This was the first time they did European Championships. Every age grouper raced open weights. There was no pro weights.
Oh. Was that fun?
It kind of worked against me, to be honest with you. I would prefer the heavier weights, but I didn't really understand the sense of it either, with the fact that the World Championships is all pro. sometimes there's a few things that I don't get, but you just get on board with. So
Yeah.
So you're getting women coming into the sport now. Like the woman who beat Dina at the weekend ran the 1500 in the Olympics. Like this is the people who are coming in now.
Yeah.
Sonia, there was only two, Sonia or Andrea.
There's some pretty radical athletes coming in now. Like the girl who came second place to, would you mind bringing up this girl's name? What's the name of the girl that came second place to, the hell's her name? Lauren Weeks.
Lauren,
Swedish girl.
What's the Swedish girl's name?
I'm not sure.
Dude, she looks like the T-1000, like Terminator from Terminator 2. Like when I saw her pictures, I was like, oh my God, I got to turn my phone off. She's going to kill me. She is ripped and dangerous looking. Like, you know,
I think she went to the games last year.
That girl looks tough. And I also said, I was like, Lauren Weeks is going to come back. Like Lauren Weeks can't just have a baby and settle down. Lauren Weeks is going to have a baby, and then she's just going to go into like a blacksmithing room and just forge iron until she comes back and kills everybody. She was an absolute beast.
Lauren did all the wall balls unbroken, which is
who did?
Lauren did 100 unbroken. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, she's the toughest athlete I think I've ever met, male and female.
Yeah, she can grind it.
It's super interesting. The way that she does stuff, it never seems like she's suffering. She just seems to just keep on going at whatever pace it is and refuses to die. And like, I guess that's kind of the sport of Hyrox, is it's not about how fast you are and how strong you are. It's how little everything makes you suffer.
The women's times have just changed so radically. I mean, it'd be like you taking another 5 minutes off your time, and that would be the new men's time. Could you imagine how that can happen?
I mean, I really think that it's bound to happen in the female side. I think the men's side, like I did all the math on this, and we were stuck at like 57s for a really long time. And I was like, I have to do X, Y, and Z to pop this barrier. So I did X, Y, and Z. Bunch of steroids. No, I'm just saying I did this certain training cycle that I thought would get me down to that 55-minute mark. I told myself these are the two things. And I think potentially for men, like I could have been up near the 53 mark, and I think guys will start to get down to the 55s. For women, I knew that sub 60 was coming because for some reason, women were just like only focusing on speed, and I was not seeing a lot of progress on the stations. The biggest progress, I think, for females is going to happen in stations, not running.
Yeah.
They just won't make the amount of progress. So I think like Faye Stenning came in Miami and ran like a 29:50 8K. So women came in with stellar running times from the start, and then they just didn't focus on stations. Now you're watching these people who are really crushing it, like that girl Megan. She's really, really strong. She runs like a 16-minute 5K, and she benches 200 pounds. That's the strength that I'm talking about. That CrossFitter girl from Sweden, and Lauren Weeks has always had it, but now she's, I think, just like fully developing it.
Yeah. The women seem to be getting younger as well, which is, I don't know what the difference is there, but seems to be a younger generation coming through the elites on the women's side, whereas the men's side still seem to be that average age of like 30, 35. So that's interesting. If any younger men we'll start seeing coming in.
I don't think they have enough volume on their legs. I don't. I think that
in another 10 years, and you're going to get athletes that come from nothing, that start training at 16, 17 solely for Hyrox. Whereas at the moment now, they're crossing over from another sport. So where the times can go, who knows? You'll be geriatric like Tom by that stage.
That's what happened in triathlon. You had runners coming into it, and cyclists coming into it, and swimmers coming into it. And then it got to the stage where when people were 17, they just were triathletes. The weren't runners, the weren't cyclists. The sport was triathlon. And that'll happen with Hyrox. And when that happens, the times will tumble then.
Yeah.
Really come down.
It's astounding. So for you watching the women's field, you guys are coaches here. What would you say is going to be, I mean, it's kind of interesting. You guys in Europe kind of dominated all the times and took the majority of the spots for, I think like 3 American men qualified out of 30. And I don't know how many American women qualified for the American championships coming up over here. But what would you say are some of the biggest competitors, and what do you think is going to happen between now and world championships?
I don't think it's going to change too much.
I don't think it'll change at all, really, on the women's side, because I think you had like 5 Americans over, or 4 American girls over, and I'd say the women's field is kind of what it's going to be, because all the big American names, I suppose, were there. Men's side is different because Ryan wasn't there. Ryan wasn't there.
Chris Grglowski has a chance.
Oh, Chris, I totally forgot about you. Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Is she in the US Championships?
I don't think so.
So she has to get a time then,
I guess. I think Hyrox once again totally fucked up this getting into world system. It was super stupid to allow people to come over from Europe and race in the American championships and get their points in there. Like,
yeah. Not even like a top. They rolled down a lot.
Rolled down to 30.
Rolled down to 30.
Yeah. So
I think the idea was to let people earn prize money. I think this was the thinking behind it.
To earn prize money?
That, like, to push the sport on and get the competitors more professional, that they would need money and need sponsors. And the way to do that was to kind of win races, win prize money, and hopefully sponsors would come on board. So by allowing you to go to both championships, you could, like, if Alexander wins in the US, he'll be after winning 15 grand or whatever. Yeah.
What did you win for first place?
7, I think.
7?
Yeah.
So you make 15 grand. Sure, in theory, it would be helpful, but I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you're watching so many really, really talented athletes not even get the chance of being able to compete. And I'm just beating a dead horse here, but I've said it so many times. When you come over and race in America, the times just don't add up. If I took you guys, Ryan, would you mind bringing up the elite times from Vegas? Yeah. The elite 15, and then bring up the elite times from the European Championships. So what was your finishing time, by the way, Tom, in the European Championships?
An hour and 12 seconds, I think.
Hour and 12 seconds. What was your time in Vegas?
I think it was 103 or 104, something like that.
Yeah. And I would go to say that it would be around the same exact time, give or take a minute, if you brought it here in the States, just because of the way that the sleds are over here. And what's happened is these guys, you're gonna watch all of these dudes in the United States not be able to qualify at all. That's what happened last year.
I like the idea. On another podcast, someone said that why not have the US championships as an open championships, the EU one as an open championships. You take the top 5 from both of them, and then you have a final qualifier in February or March where you take the top 5 guys in that, and there's your 15.
Yeah, so it's like a last chance qualifier.
Yeah.
But then you're going to have to do this and regionalize it. That was my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says right here, Tom, you're Tom, you liar, you were 105.9.
I honestly could not remember.
You're scraping minutes off.
I didn't want to remember.
Okay, so now go to Ronkovic. What's Ronkovic's time? 103, 38 minutes?
38 seconds.
Yep. Zoom in.
I think looking at Alexander and Tim will be more beneficial than mine.
Okay, yep. So let's go Alexander and Tim. It's almost identical. So now go over to your bring up another page. Leave this one right here. Go to the European Championships real quick.
I don't know that I can. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Keep talking.
Enhance. I'm just going to show you guys, though. It is almost exactly the same. I was studying it for a little bit, and it's almost exactly the same. Like, everyone's time kind of stayed the same. And
now you want this year's like European season?
Yeah, the European Championship that we just happened this weekend.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know. But basically,
see, there's small things that make a massive difference. Like the in and the out, the last Saturday. but was just a long straight into the rock zone each time, which was very fast. No twists and no turning. Coming out of it was very fast. Like you basically took 5 or 6 steps, you were back on the run course. In Vegas, we had to run out around in front of the stands, take a 90-degree turn, another 90-degree turn, and then you were back out. All that makes like huge differences.
To look at the difference here. So they were about 40 seconds apart here. If you go back to the other race, they're about, 55 seconds apart. It's almost the same exact race. And what was Sandback? Sandback was a minute and 15 seconds, 20 seconds off of the championship winning time. If you go back over to the world championship, I guarantee it's almost the same exact window. So, Tom, let's hack into the men's championship a little bit.
Yeah.
What was it like being back out there for the third time at the highest level over there in Europe? And, you're what, 42 now?
Damn, shots fired.
What are you, 40, 41?
41.
Whatever.
Do me an injustice there with your 42.
Yeah, shut up. You guys draw pictures of me making me look stupid all the time. Yeah. What was it like competing? What was it like competing in that field? And what does it feel like at your level of competitiveness and being able to push, these guys that are basically, 10 years younger than you? Fuck,
Yeah,
Tim's got to be about 20 years younger than you.
Tim is like 2 years older than our oldest son.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Do you feel like you're really racing against these guys, or do you feel like you're holding on, just trying to keep up with these guys?
Holding on for dear life.
Holding on for dear life.
Really?
Yeah, like people were greeting me at the weekend like, oh, good to see the old man is back.
Gosh, that's rugged.
Thanks.
That's
but
rugged.
man, look, I'm realistic enough to know that I can't beat. I know there's certain people I can't beat. I did have a goal of coming in the top 5. I thought I realistically
missed
thought
about 6 seconds.
Yeah, I thought I could get in there, but I'm having to change things all the time. So I know I can't go with the pace now. So I'm more relying on my head to pull me through, and hope that people go out way too fast, get too excited, and start coming back as the race goes on, and I slowly drag them in and pass them. And I kind of just relying on years of experience now, more so than anything else. And it kind of worked at the weekend, that I didn't get excited. I didn't go off. I don't chase too hard. If someone is 10 meters in front, I don't try and make up that 10 meters in the next 5 seconds. I'll make it up over a lap.
That's why you just got to lead from the start to the end, dude. That's how I handle it, okay? It's a simple way to fix that problem. So what is it like? I mean, I really have no clue, and I'm looking forward to this day being that 42-year-old dude that shows up in the gym, just wants to tear in half 25-year-olds. What does training feel like for you at this point, and what does racing feel like for you? Like, are you constantly gambling at all times, being like, I know if I train too hard today, I'm going to die? And when it comes to racing, where you have to give everything, what does it feel like being in that position?
I have to juggle everything in training. Like I don't do burpees in training. I don't do lunges in training. I do very limited wall balls in training.
Sounds like me.
All of these things hurt my hips too much. Now I sound very old. So I have to juggle everything. And then if I want to do a really hard session, I know that for 3 days now, it's going to have to be very easy.
Yeah.
After that. And
how much?
But when it comes to a race, all that goes out the window. I'm just like, I'll be sore for a week, but I get over it.
How much would you guys say that in your training, you train the sport of Hyrox rather than just train to be in really good shape?
A lot.
You train the sport of Hyrox a lot?
A lot
more me.
A lot more than
me.
Yeah.
I train Hyrox specific probably 80% of the time.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really have a lot of talent, so I have to really push training.
That's crazy. You know, I don't almost touch any of the Hyrox stations for the majority of the year. I like when these guys got out there and trained with me. What's that?
I train like how the race will feel. It mightn't necessarily be that movement, but it'll be how that movement will feel in the race, if that makes sense.
And this may be a good question for you guys, because you guys are both trainers also. I have this conversation with myself, and I found the best results from it. I'm a big believer in just getting as fast as possible. So how do you get fast? You either put in more volume and more speed volume, but you don't put in tons of volume doing Hyrox running. How do you get strong? Like, you don't just push sleds all the time. Like, I just put plates on the bar. So if, like, I said this to people a lot, if how often do you guys watch football, like American football players do sled pushes? Pretty much never. But what do? They go in the gym and they put like 5 plates on a squat bar and they go up and down. And they just know if they can get stronger in the gym, that no matter what, whatever they go up against, they'll just crush it on the field. And I'm a big believer in that, and it doesn't beat me up as much. But you guys are different athletes. I've always kind of been like a Tonka truck, and you guys have come from like the leaner background. What would you say, especially as you guys are getting older, what would you say is the biggest success factor for your guys' training?
For Hyrox specific stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you aren't doing anything else, I'm assuming.
You know,
No, just being a dad. Tell me about it.
the biggest thing for the Hyrox training and all, like you said, it's getting like the majority of people, 99% of people just need to be faster, and they'll do a better Hyrox. If you said to 99% of all the people doing Hyrox, stay out of gym for the next 3 months and do a running program, I bet they'll all run a faster Hyrox.
Yeah.
Because people
see, the problem is like the perfect workouts and the perfect training is out there, but for the vast majority of people, life does not allow for that. Like, lifestyle, time restraints, injuries. Like, if you're not living the life of a professional athlete, which is what most people aren't, you have to adapt everything. So,
like, what was your volume of running been when you were back when you used to be an athlete doing Hyrox?
What was my what?
Your running volume every week in kilometers or in miles.
He said, "What was your run volume when you used to be an athlete in Hyrox?"
Fucked up. I literally could get out of my boat and beat the piss out of all you guys with zero training. Don't make me. I would get up to 100K a week. It wasn't necessary. Because running, like I tell this to people all the time, it's like it's a game. At this point, it's like if you spend so much time running, you are going to pull so much away from your ability to be strong. So I spend so much, like I did 100 miles on the bike last week, just starting to pick up my stamina again. Biking isn't necessarily going to translate into anything other than conditioning. And I'm just trying to get my conditioning back up so that when my technique in the boat lines up, that I'll be fit enough to put the technique to a super high level of intensity. I just recognize like biking has always been something that's really, really good for me, and I can get away with it for hours on end. Running is one of those kind of things where all of us know this. Like, here are your opportunities to get screwed up. 1, blisters. 2, roll your ankle. 3, twist your knee. 4, your hip flexor. 5, your hamstring. It's just a chain of events waiting to go wrong. So for me, I keep my running volume probably lower than most people in the sport, and I just add it on everywhere else. And it's always been a blessing for me. But I bet you I probably could have faster Hyrox times if I didn't have an ego in the gym.
You spent more time on the track.
If I looked like Tom Hogan in that picture that I showed you guys, 45-minute Hyrox.
You wouldn't be able to move the sled.
What are you talking about, dude? I'd bite it with my teeth and drag it if I had to. I'd be so fit.
I was that weight when we did our first ever Hyrox.
You were?
Yeah, and
as a doubles.
Did you race in a dress? Tiny ass.
You could hardly move the sled.
I couldn't move the sled. I'd never even seen a sled. And we went over and they had the warm-up area. And there was loads of people around. I didn't even want to touch it because I was fully convinced that no way this thing is going to move. And we ran out. We did the race. Dina didn't move it. Did you? Didn't move it at all. And she ran out of the sled, and I was screaming at her to come back because had to walk. I could not move after pushing that.
You put on a lot of volume then. If that was your first race, or your first race, you look like that skinny string bean to now.
It's all Builder, dude. He just eats potatoes and drink Builder all day long. Look at the size of him now.
15 kilos heavier or something.
Yeah. So Hunter, do you think you still train any percentage of your training purely for aesthetics?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. I basically, after World Championships, just got into bodybuilding, and I looked insane. I looked so good. I was like, damn, you freak. And I was just taking iron. I was just like, find whatever kind of metal you can in this building and put it on the bar for me real quick. And I was just like, it was the shit. And then
if he was made of chocolate, he'd ate himself. That's the truth.
Yeah. Dude, I look great, and I felt awesome. And like I eventually, when I retire, I'm just going to be like this big jack dude that climbs up trees and chops wood and fights bears outside. And I'll just dig holes and lift rocks in front of my wife and children all day long so that I can assert my dominance in front of them.
She's a lucky girl.
Yeah. The kids would be like, man, I was so pissed at Dad, and then I saw him move that rock, and I changed my mind. I was thinking about not cleaning up my room, but then I saw Dad climb up that tree and beat the crap out of that bear. Changed my mind. Yeah. And my wife's going to love it, dude. She will just be like, I 100% will live like a Viking. I'm not one of those nerds that's like really into Viking culture, but it will be like this. It'll be just like furs of dead animals all over my house that I've conquered. I'll have so many children that I'll have to start being like Elon Musk. I'll start naming them after like letters and numbers. And
you better get onto that shit. You're getting a bit old now too, you know. TikTok.
Not a wrinkle on my body. This right here is like a porcelain egg. Thing smooth.
What
and
age
beautiful.
are you now, Hunter?
I'm 33. It's a good life.
We had 3 by 33.
This is the year of Jesus.
We had 4 by 33.
This is the year of Jesus. This is my peak year right now. I can feel it. All of my chakras are aligned.
He has it all planned out.
I do.
He's all going to live up in the cabin?
I got homes all over the place. They can live wherever they want, I'm a big believer in I'm a big believer in like your life is a book, and there's chapters to all of it. And to just sit here and fantasize about a chapter that is like 10 chapters into this book and just dog shit the hell out of all these chapters just to get to chapter 10 is what I've watched so many people do. And they screw up their lives completely. I'm building this runway so that a jumbo jet can lift off. Like I literally could do anything I want with my life from this point on. So when I retire from sport at 35, one, I want to let go. I don't want to have that ego where I'm that old dad, no offense, Tom, that just like keeps on going back and won't let go. And I'm not saying you're that person, Tom, but I've met so many of these like middle-aged men that are ruining their lives because they still have their ego wrapped up in it. I don't think you guys are ruining your lives, but
to be fair, that's exactly why we change sports constantly too, because we could have stuck to road racing and then like got slower and go down the pack or change.
I'm still going to do all this stuff. I'm just not going to have my ego in it anymore.
You're not going to throw your body on the coals every day to try to, like Tom was saying, he's rearranged the way he trains so he can continue to do that. Not just, I don't care if my body is aching. I'm going to go all out of the gym today and just F up my legs,
Well, yeah. This is the last year for me doing it.
If you look at like life, my life was like, it's like VHS tapes or DVDs. Like in the beginning, it's a Disney movie. Then it went to Little Rugrats or like Dennis the Menace. I was pretty like troublesome. And then it's like a party movie a little bit. And then it's just like Die Hard action movie, Rocky montages. And then I'm going to have the rom-com around 35. And from there on out, like, have you ever seen
Grumpy old man?
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie St. Vincent's with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
So good. He's just this grumpy man next door, and a single mom moves in, and she needs help, like, watching her son, and he just like drives around like drunk picking up hookers and taking the kid with him and stuff. And I was like, that's me. That's going to be me in my 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Love it.
Yeah, but I fully embrace the chapter that I'm in right now. I will admit this paddling stuff sucks. I'm living in a house with like a bunch of 25-year-old boys. I wake up and I'm soaking wet from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. every morning. And I just do it on repeat. I'm doing
From them
Groundhog
just
Day.
walking around the house, you just get so hot and bothered by the young men.
I call it Boys Town. I call it Boys Town. It's just a bunch of young boys.
That's
up
a
to no
different
good.
film altogether.
I'm gonna get live cams and have like an OnlyFan like donation page.
Did
Gotta
you
pay
get
the-
yourself on the PH?
Yeah, gotta get a donation page. Yeah, listen, we're going too far here. So I
Yeah,
honestly really wanted to ask you guys continue about the sport thing, and
Mhm.
you guys are now at the point where you've dedicated so much of your life to so many different sports, and now you guys are at the peak of a new sport, and I think you're in this position where I'll admit, like, I'm even the same position. It's like, do you think at this point you'd rather continue to dive in deeper down this hole, or would you guys rather pull out and focus more on the coaching and the business side of it?
Pull out. This is it.
Pull out.
I think for me, like Dana had said last year, she wouldn't commit to trying to make it into the elite this year. I kind of half said that. Then I was pissed off at the Vegas result and said I'd go one more year. But no matter what would happen this year, that this is it.
Yeah.
We're grooming Josh. He's doing a doubles with Josh next
Yeah.
weekend. You know that?
Like we won't
Josh?
step away. Yeah,
Our son.
Yep.
Yeah, but we won't step away from it. We'll just next year we'll do doubles. We'll go to cities just to see the cities, have some fun, have weekends away, do the race, no pressure, kick
Support
everyone's ass.
clients.
Kick
Our
everyone's
client
ass
base
in doubles.
is growing all the time. I'm actually shocked at how fast it grows, especially after any races. People constantly get in contact, and I think the time will come where that will just have to have more time if that's the where we're going. And I'm slaved with Builder. It's a full-time job.
You'll get a raise one of these days.
Mhm.
A
think we're
raise would imply I get paid.
Mhm.
None of us make money. None of us make money.
It's all for the fun.
Yeah.
The
This
CEO
right
of a
here,
company has
this
worked
right here
very
isn't a real cabin, by the way. This is just a green screen.
It's crazy.
I'm in a cardboard box.
On the street.
I've got a plug running through McDonald's. I'm sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I'll say I'm more excited about the business side of things than I am almost anything right now. It's actually a challenge to wake up in the morning and want to go train when I know the opportunity that we have to grow what we've been building. I think anybody who's listening to this, who's ever inspired to start a business, I think it's the greatest thing in the entire world. I mean, you will sit there and you'll pull a hair out of your head. You'll stress. Some days you'll cry, some days you'll win. And in reality, that's just life. But would you rather be owning the horse or renting the horse? I own this horse and I ride it wherever the fuck I want, but I got to feed it and take care of it. But, God dang, man, it's a powerful thing. And I got you guys as my teammates. It's pretty rad. If I wasn't paddling right now, I would move from the United States and fully develop the European market. I think it's the number one thing that we could do.
How much has HIT grown over here in such a little time, right?
You guys are bigger than the United States brand. You guys are
And
bigger than the United States brand already.
we
That's
were walking
crazy.
around
All lazy.
Maastricht in the Hyrox event even just this weekend gone, and people were stopping us, talking about the product, asking us where they can get gear. I've said this from the very, very beginning. I have yet to find anybody that is not a repeat customer. And
Yeah.
that's all I care about. The fact that people take it, realize, oh, this actually works. Because they'll just keep coming back and back and back. So I love it.
Tom was saying Florian was a huge fan of it. And I really do like that because I feel like that guy really does know his stuff. And he's a journeyman. That guy started back here and he's worked his way up and now he just qualified for world championships. And that's kind of like the hero story that everybody wants to hear.
He 100%. Now
Yeah.
I'm sure his training is up, but he tells everyone. We witnessed it. He told everybody that would listen over the weekend that Builder is a game changer for him.
Yeah.
I think he actually he
was telling
texted
everyone it was a
us
great
at like 10 o'clock, was it?
last
He
night.
was looking for Builder. He had like literally took his last scoop.
On Saturday.
And, or Saturday, yeah, and he was like he was on the hunt for it, like.
Yeah.
He believes it's a hangover cure too. He thinks
It is.
Florian loves to party after a race, so
Dude, he's a wildcat.
He loves that it cures his hangovers.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Well, dude, we're working on it right now. We've been making some ads. Ryan, can you bring up one of those ads that we have, the one that's the comparison ad with the 3 products you have to put in? We made this ad just to make it very interesting and obvious to people. But one thing that I try to tell people is this is not just like something you put in the water. It's a performance hydration drink. It is something that is meant to enhance your performances when you're hydrating. So we just made an advertisement where literally it's 100% factual. I take 3 pills of one product, put it in the cup of water. I take 1 scoop of another product and 2 packets of another hydration product, all to equal 1 scoop of our drink. And if you do the math on adding all those things up, you would have to spend, $45 on this product, $25 on this product, and another $45 on this product. It's almost 3 times more expensive than what we have.
Even at like what the price that we're pricing it at, it costs like in dollars probably like $1.70 for 500 to 700 mils. Like, can you buy water that cheap?
No, I just think it's interesting. Like that's the one piece like that we'll have to work on is like if I took our drink and put it on the table or Bang Energy, so many people would be like, I'm getting Bang Energy right now. And Bang Energy literally just got bankrupted because 1, they were lying about all of the ingredients that were inside of their can, and 2, it's just a screaming piece of shit.
There's no creatine in it.
No creatine. I cannot believe that's one thing that people got to recognize also is like a lot of these companies don't really give a shit what's inside of there. And that you have to really look at the blends that's on the back of it. It blows my mind.
Yeah. What blows my mind is the people who will sacrifice and have so much dedication and determination. They do everything right. They get up at 6 a.m., they go train, they do double days, they eat properly, they spend money on like trainers and gym memberships. And then this one thing that they could really pay attention to, like high quality ingredients, the potency of the ingredient, they just gloss over it. And I'm like, this could be so different for you if you just paid this little bit of attention to this extra factor.
Well, Dina, you got to work harder. That's all I'm going to say.
I know. I've got to stop being lazy.
You got to stop slacking, guys. Got to stop slacking. So now we're coming up to like the end of the show, and I kind of want to just check in with you guys, see what's up next for you, and also get some predictions. One also, Tom, I want to congratulate you for beating David Magida. I always love to hear when David Magida gets his ass kicked. And, basically, what are your guys' predictions? I want votes from both you guys. What's the podium at World Championships this year? Male and female, top 3.
Are you racing?
I'll show up. If they give me a free ticket, I'll show up and I'll just bend the sleds in half.
Tim actually asked me on Friday when we were walking into the briefing, when are we having our doubles race?
I'd have to spend more money on buying that kid tissues than my flight over there if I had to race him. Yeah. I have got nothing against the guy.
Well, when he brings
$1,000
cash,
I'm gonna go with Alex because I think Alex is just a machine. He's proved it. Yeah, he's proved it over and over again, and actually, he's just the nicest guy. So I'm gonna go with Alex, and then I'm actually gonna go with Tim for second. And
you're giving Kent no skin in the game.
I think third is not in there yet.
Wow.
It's hard to
Kent,
know.
If you're listening, dude, you just got stuffed to the back of the pack, dude.
Is Ryan?
It's hard to know it with the men because And this is a problem. This is their own doing in qualifying. Like they were saying, they didn't have a time in top 30. But Ryan Kent, Rich Ryan, and a couple of others all concentrated on Deca, which is different kind of fitness, I suppose, because it's kind of half the race, isn't it? And then didn't really get to do a Hyrox because there's not many of them in America. So in one way, it's their own doing that they didn't get a time. And it's hard to kind of call who's going to come where because you haven't seen any of them race with Hyrox fitness yet. We've only seen them race with Deca fitness. Which
Well, I think winning the Deca World titles is about as valuable as winning bingo night. And the fact that those guys did that, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's yeah, people are gonna be pissed when I say that, but yeah, they fucked up.
But if I was to pick three without seeing them racing, then I think Alexander could win it. And then I think second and third will be Ryan Kent and Sandy.
What? Wow, Michelle.
Yeah.
So what happened to Toby?
Toby's just I think since the twins came along, he hasn't really been as focused on Hyrox as what he was. And I don't think it's going to change in the next couple of months leading into World. So he'll be there and he'll always be good on the day, but I don't think he'll be in contention for top three.
Sweet Toby is my favorite. I want Sweet Toby to come back, that angelic boy. But he took fourth, so he qualified?
Yeah, no, only top three qualified.
What?
Wow.
Top three in the US, top three in the EU, and then it's times after that.
Well, that's just so stupid.
Potentially, there could be the same top three in the US championships, and then 12 people will qualify on time.
I think that they literally have a bunch of monkeys in the room with crayons and calculators, and that's how they design their season. They're like, we're going to leave these monkeys in here for a while, and then whatever happens, we're just going to roll with it. Because that doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, so what's his name? Tiago. Tiago probably hates me at this point, but Tiago took that 57-minute one in Madrid or whatever, where I basically think they have magic carpets there. Frankfurt, whatever the hell it was. He just had this astoundingly good time. And then you go see him. That's why I always say horses, not courses. Then you go see him, and what did he come at European Championships? He came behind you.
I can show you.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, so you're telling me, Tom, like, no offense, Tom, but you're not in 57-minute shape, but Tiago is.
No, I'll never be in 57 minutes yet.
Man, that sucks, man. I'm sorry for those guys. You know what we should do since we both didn't qualify? We'll do a live show and broadcast the thing, and we'll give people what they really want to hear. Rather than E-Rock just jumbo jamming on the microphone, we're going to give the people what they want. Dina, you can come in too. You passed the chick show. You're a rock star today. You're in. The CEO is in.
And what's your prediction on the women's side then? What's your prediction, Hunter, for the men?
I think from a vanity standpoint, Kent would basically string himself up if he didn't win. I think there's that pressure on him where if he doesn't get it done this year, I don't think he's ever going to get it done. And I just think that I really believe in Kent. I think he's a rock star. I think the only thing that's the difference between Kent in his best shape and Kent in his not so best shape is a gust of wind, because he's like a kite. Like if he doesn't have the gust of wind that he wants, he can't fly as high as he wants to go. So he's got to keep his mental game tight, and he's got to recognize that like he can only focus on this from this point on. Like there's no other events that he's going to go to. He's not going to go to a Deca Fit to go try to set some BS record in a gym in Jacksonville, Florida. Like he's got to go all in, because these guys, you know, Ronkovich, I never hear him do anything else, and he always just shows up and performs. And he's never going to be bad. He's always going to be good. And so if you're not on your best option, he's going to take it. I think he'll take it. And then I think Tim's got a great chance for second place. As much as I tease Tim, I think Tim's a phenomenal athlete. He's a good guy. And then if I had to guess third place, I mean, Toby could come second or third. That would be my thought. And for the girls' side, let's lead it off, Dina. What do you think for the ladies?
I think Lauren's probably unbeatable at this stage, and
Yeah.
you
Terminator.
know, yeah, she's gonna. I would like to think if Linda got a chance to race, she would come back. I know she was missing from the Europeans. I'm not sure why she didn't race. So, but I think she's going to America, right?
I don't know.
No idea.
I'm not sure, but I would like to see. And then, maybe Michaela, probably. Because she ran an extra lap, didn't she? Was it? Oh, no, it was Megan. Megan ran an extra lap in the Euros. So
Really?
maybe Megan. Yeah.
So and she was in second place.
She came third.
So she would
She
have
was
won.
in second at the time, and she went back to like ninth.
No,
she
I
would've
don't
won.
think she would have won because she was still a 103 and Lauren had a 101. And it was a 3-lap course, which meant it was only like 300 meters ish. But she'd have probably
but think about that. 300 meters, the girls are finishing their laps in 4 to 4:30, so that's a minute and 30 off. So it's in contention.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Of course,
Quite possible.
Yeah.
that's the second time Megan has done that, I think. So she needs to like focus on
Mistakes
counting
happen,
and
Hogan.
No,
Next
Happen
few
to the
months.
best of us on race
Hey,
day.
we've gone an hour and 1 minute, and no one has like said anything about Dina fucking up over the weekend.
I didn't even know. What'd you do?
Yeah, this is why she said she didn't want to talk about a race. She went
You did the
Sled
stations backwards.
sled pull row burpee.
Whoa.
How? I thought you were a coach.
Yeah, I missed our coach 1 week learning how to count. That's how me and Tom coach. That's our week 1.
So
with
you
our
skipped
program.
stations?
1, 2,
No,
3,
I didn't.
4,
Well, I
4.
didn't skip. I just did them backwards. So I did the row and then I did burpees, and I got a penalty. So
I would give you a penalty too.
yeah, penalty for being stupid. But the biggest thing is, it took me about 800 meters to realize what I'd done. First of all, I was like, oh my God, I have missed a lap. And then I was like, no, I know I haven't, because I was on my watch. They've done an extra lap. And then I was thinking, every single person in my wave? And eventually...
Have you guys noticed that I have like 2 lap counters in people at every race that I go to? I literally will have people count my laps and tell me what station to go to next, because my brain is literally like an egg being cooked. And if it wasn't for people pointing for me to go, I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
Spoke to a crew over the weekend who did 6 lengths on the sled push.
Oh my gosh.
Because he said in his gym is only 8 meters long, so he has to do 6 in the gym to get up close to 50.
Oh, so he just
So in the race, he just did 6.
Man, this is wild and crazy. Well, I'm really excited about catching up with you guys. You're my favorite people ever. I actually call Tom all the time, and now I actually get a hold of Dina most
I know.
days because
FaceTime the bed beside me. I'm starting to...
Tom's lazy. I try to get a hold of him. You're easy to get a hold of. Anything you guys want to just sign off with? I know you guys got your coaching business. What do we got?
No, we will be in Manchester next weekend, and we may have some goodies to give away, but there's more for that coming on Build Our Instagram page, so watch out for that happening. And we've also a competition coming up from when you do reviews, so that's coming this week. Well, that's all builder related. That's it. Let's go.
We're going to launch a training workout, aren't we, Hunter?
What's that? Our workout?
Yeah.
I'm doing that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whoop the crap. I'm gonna whoop the crap out of your time.
No.
So once you do that and have time, we'll launch that as well. Then we'll give people a month to try.
Hunter, the evil genius is here.
What's going on there? I'm gonna chop your crayons in half if you keep on selling that poor propaganda. That's a lie. It's good to see you. Yeah, guys. So coming up next for us, you can expect to see. I'm not going to be at any of the races, to be honest. I got to stay in a boat. Otherwise, I'm going to fail my mission and fail you guys who like to listen and pay attention to this stuff. So you won't see me. So look for Tom and Dina. We're going to have man camp coming up here again, training camps in March and in April. If you guys want to come out to the United States, we got the cabin all opened up. We got a new gym, really sick setup. I've got a really exciting announcement coming up where we are fully going to be launching stay camps where people can come from around the world, and we're going to put you up either in my Malibu casa or here. There's more notes coming on that. Other than that, guys, if you have not tried Builder, we'd love if you guys gave it a try. If it's terrible, I'll give you your money back. And I know it's not terrible, so that's how I'm able to put my life on the line with that one. If you guys are interested in learning more about training, I think, and you're in like your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, I think Tom and Dina are a great option. If you guys want to look like a Greek god and win races, I know a guy.
Ryan Terry.
Yeah, Ryan. Ryan, I didn't hear much from you from Tawanda. How are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Feeling good. Feeling all right.
Ryan, are you avoiding my calls these days? Do you look
No.
at your phone? I'm ringing and like, oh, here she is again.
I do. I like to get you on the voice note because I like to try to impersonate. Be the Lord Jesus Christ. I tried this 4 times and I can't get through.
Wow.
That was an exact message I sent you the other day.
I know.
Wasn't
I
it?
listened to that one. And I try to like I can get this Irish accent.
You guys are ridiculous.
You need to listen to her. She'll be CEO of House Training like next week.
Yeah.
She's taking over.
Keep me in the good books. Keep me in the good books.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will be back next week. And Tom and Dina, I'll be in touch. Ryan, I'll be calling you soon.
Shaka bra.
See you later.
Bye.
See you, team.